heaven seems the perfect scenery. Be quiet, we'll leave our lust take over our cold hearts. So long as you look my way, I'll be the star of your sweet dreams, one you'll always look at, your eyes upon me. I'm here to soothe all your nightmares, your beautiful songstress. For you I'll be the one, my dear. Tonight, my dear, I'll capture your heart. Tonight, my dear, we'll fly to bask in glory. Your eyes in my altar. Will you fall in love now? If you can't resist, don't be a martyr. my heart, red is my blood, red is my flesh, red is my soul, red is what you've done of me. It's what I've become. Red is my heart, red is my blood, red is my flesh, red is my soul, red is what you've done of me. It's what I've become. Red is my
This is a very special Dwelling of Duels banner artist breakdown. I'm your host, Evil Sonic. Joining us today is this month's banner artist, Marawis.
Hello.
So Marawis, I'm gonna give you a better introduction than that in half a second. I first want to tell the people who do not know, and I kind of doubt there are any people here that do not know, Dwelling of Duels is a monthly video game music remix competition that started back in 2003 when someone on the internet thought they were better than someone else on the internet, and we've been doing this thing pretty much since then. Each month a contest theme is chosen, the music submitted has to fit that theme, and every month we get a really excellent banner art fitting that theme, and I'm about to flash this up on the screen here. This month, Marawis has given us Ghosts vs. Zombies, and because I have it scrolling on the background, it looks kind of weird with it also in the foreground, but there it is. And yeah, so real rock and banner art from real human artists. And this month's Spooky Spectacular Rocktober, Ghosts vs. Zombies, from Marawis. Marawis, hello. Thank you for joining us here today. I absolutely love the avatar you've got on the screen. It's always fun when there can be a camera, but there's also extra fun with something else. And, oh, I should transition that screen back. Yeah, there we go. And, that's also a pretty spooky image, truth be told. Marawis,
Thank you.
How are you doing today?
All things considered, I'm fine. Also, thank you for inviting me to the stream
Absolutely.
to talk about the banner.
You've done, this isn't your first rodeo, so to speak, and we're going to take a look at some of your other DoD banner arts today during the stream, but just to kind of get started, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you are Marawis. I know you've done some banner art. I think you have a connection to someone else involved in DoD. I think we might have just heard a bunch of their music. Do I have that right?
Yeah, that selection of music was very suspicious. I wonder what they have in common. Well, I hope it has been said already. I'm Marawis. Yeah. Actually, my first banner I think was from 2022 for 3 months.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sorry.
I was just about to say we just heard. I think the first. No, I'm mixing things up. I remember the man had a lot of awesome music that month, including a track that we did together. But I got mixed up with the other free month that year that we just listened to.
Oh.
But yeah, so yeah, I know we talked a little bit earlier this week or last week. You have a very exciting day job, which is different from being an artist, but also more similar to what I do during the day.
Yeah.
And
I'm an accountant. Super exciting. Well, technically I'm an assistant accountant, but but yeah, I'm technically already finished the career and all. So yeah, I'm an accountant.
yeah, and like I said the other day, you're gonna need to learn to play the drums so that we can start a band called the Fiduciaries with Numa Joe. So we'll have a financial planner, an attorney, and an accountant, and I mean, the music will just come from there.
But I don't know music theory.
That's fine. Drummers don't need to know music theory. They just need to count,
I.
and that's where accounting comes in handy. So yeah, I know you. I didn't ask, but I'm pretty sure the man introduced you to DoD, and that's how you discovered this. But have you been big into video game music before then, or tell us a little bit about how video games and video game music all fit together for you?
Yeah, actually, truth be told, I'm a huge video game fan, but I didn't play, and I still don't play a lot. My father used to be very strict in that regard, so we didn't have consoles or anything. And I remember one day when I was like 8, I saw my brother in hiding playing on a Game Boy Advance emulator. He was playing Pokemon. I was like, I want to play too. He was like, no way. And my dad called on, but he was like, well, if you're playing, let her play too. If you're contrabanding the emulator in my computers. So that was it. I played a few things on emulators because we didn't have consoles. Like my dad was like, well, you're doing that for free. That's fine, but I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to buy you anything. But so yeah, I actually I like a lot to listen to soundtracks in general.
Mm-hmm.
Also, something that I responsabilize my partner. So yeah, when I found a video game I like or something, I sometimes like get the whole soundtrack and play it.
What are some of your favorite soundtracks?
A very recent one, I really like the Baldur's Gate 3 soundtrack.
Okay.
It's really good. Also, oh god, I started to play the game like a year ago, and I have not gotten out of Act 1.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone. A lot of people here like video games, but don't necessarily play them to win. I mean, I barely play video games, but yeah, I love listening to video game music, much like yourself. So when you started playing growing up, did you mostly play with siblings, or just, solo player, or what were some of the other favorites after Pokemon?
I'm mostly a solo player because I play mostly RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid of the walls of text.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have played a few like with friends like Splatoon. Like I started with the third one, and I played with a friend. And in Pokemon, well, yeah, the competitive. When I was in college, all my friends were like, it was the first time when I met more than one or two people that like Pokemon.
Yeah.
So we played competitive more there, but yeah, I'm mostly a solo player. Oh, and with the man who's shocking revelation here, he's my husband.
Yeah.
So we played. We had a Mario Odyssey, and I was like, hey, this can be played with co-op. We can play that together, and it was really fun actually. And I was like, wow, we struggled a lot to get some of those the moon pieces. I can't imagine this getting them solo. We gave up on the dark side. We didn't finish it.
Yeah.
We finished the game, but we still have the dark side to play. No anymore.
No more. So what games have you been playing or watching, or like what are your, I guess take me through the years if you had like some games you liked playing in childhood. RPGs you mentioned, are mostly recent stuff or classics too?
A bit from both. I started to play more modern ones when I had my own income and I could buy the consoles and engage myself.
Yeah.
My father could not say anything because it was my money.
There you go.
And eventually he was like, "Hey, I can buy you a game for Christmas or something." I was like, "Oh, but how turns have tables." Well, when I was already an adult, so he was not worried about my school grades or anything. But yeah, when I was young, I played a lot of classics. Like I played the first Pokemon games on emulator.
Yeah.
Be child the crimes.
I was never much into RPGs except for Pokemon and Elder Scrolls. But those also feel very different from like your classic typical RPGs.
Yeah, even among RPGs there are different types. Because like for example, there was like Dark Souls is technically an RPG too. There was like, oh wow, I didn't know that. But I guess that makes sense because of how the level up and the skill points system kinda works. I didn't really get too far into Dark Souls, but I think it works mostly like that. How a sword points into different stats and stuff.
Yeah. And my favorite RPG is where I play the role of the New York Yankees in MLB The Show, and I just turn it on easy mode and hit home runs over and over again. And that's my escape into fantasy. Nice.
This is the fantasy of every gamer.
Exactly. And so I know you've done a bunch of art. You haven't done art. Can you tell us a little bit about your art background and like how much art and video games sort of combined, or is there more that you do separate from video games? Tell us a little bit about your art. And also I should mention we have pinned in the Twitch chat the your Blue Sky link. Let me
yes.
Copy that and post it again in case anyone wants to see it.
I'm sorry I haven't updated that in forever. None of my socials really. And actually, I think if you check my Blue Sky, you will see that my last thing was like an Inktober with Baldur's Gate 3 thematic.
Was that,
actually,
I mean, this year or last October?
No, it was like, oh god, no, it was 2023, I think. So yeah, that's why I was like, oh, I have not updated that since forever, and I didn't even finish that Inktober because my work day was getting a bit heavy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm not giving up on the Inktober. And then 2 years later, like, oh damn.
Have you done any art this Inktober? I know Andromeda is doing. I don't know. I guess it might be Inktober, but like a drawing challenge. So the other day was a spider web, and there was a candle and some brooms, and it's been cool watching.
No, actually, the man shared with me the challenge that DoD made, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to work on that, and then I didn't work on that.
Oh yeah.
But maybe one weekend I will do like a batch. Like, sure, let's do this in a batch, because yeah, I have done some art, but it has been lately. Has been pretty how to say that, not very regular.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my schedule. I have to double think that, because I grew up thinking it's from schedule. English second language problems. But yeah, I have done mostly art for my Cyberpunk games, D&D and D&D. Not DoD, D&D. Although I have done for DoD too.
I always get amused with the DoD D&D, like how close they are, and they are like they're very different, but they're also very nerdy. So there's a lot of crossover. I know. I keep wanting to like get into D&D, but I need somebody to like kidnap me and take me to a game and like make me play.
It's pretty fun. Also, yeah, it also depends of with whom you're playing.
Yeah.
Because I think we have all heard the horror stories of problematic game players or dungeon masters.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't played games, but I've heard the horror stories. But it's one of those things. I don't know why. I used to have I probably could have gotten into it in high school, but for some reason I'm like, no, that's too nerdy even for me. I'm not going there. And now I'm like, that was dumb. I probably would have had fun doing it, and it wouldn't be this massive obstacle for me to overcome to get into it now. It feels
you will have had a lot of fun with spreadsheets. You have joined.
I do love a good spreadsheet. So speaking of nerdy art, what are some of your do you have any like favorite video game themes or characters or design? Like, what's your favorite sort of video game art to work on?
Well, I like to do a lot of meme art.
Yeah.
With the memes. Converge the art with the memes. Like, actually, I think, well, it's not about video games, but in the art I shared before, there's one that is very specifically a meme, but it's about comics.
Mm-hmm.
because like every nerd, I have to work on every field. But yeah, I enjoy a lot of video. Like, also I remember there was a period of time where I did a lot of Pokemon art, and a lot of that was also memes. So there is that.
So I only played the first generation of Pokemon, and I kind of imagine Game Boy Advance, if that was the one where you first started playing some of that, that would have been later, right?
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance was already the third generation. It was with Hoenn, the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald games.
Oh wow. So do you have a favorite generation or favorite Pokemon or anything along those? I'm so old with it. I know there are things after the first generation, but for me there's always just those 151.
But it's kind of funny. My favorite Pokemon is Growlithe, which is actually from the third generation, the Fire Dog.
Yeah. So
I really love that
Arcanine.
Arcanine, no, I like him, but I prefer Growlithe more because it's a more traditional dog, and I was always a dog person.
Mm.
But my favorite generation is the fifth one, the black and white one.
Okay. I should play more of those at some point.
Yeah, the Black and White was on DS, which I think it was the first console that had more than one generation in them, because it started with the fourth one, Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, and then there was also the fifth one was
Yep.
Black and White.
Now it says there are over 1,000 Pokemon now. That's too many Pokemon.
There are way too many of us, but this is so fun. Well, I like the conformist that I am. I enjoy it.
Black and White
They
takes
have
place in New
boss.
York. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So that's... I'm getting excited about Pokemon right now. We...
Yeah, Unova is the New York, USA one, that region. Because after the fourth one, yeah, starting with the fifth one, they started to go beyond the adapting Japanese regions, and they were like, oh, what if we do a region that is a whole country?
That's...
Like, sure.
That's cool. Now I'm excited. How did I not know this? I should have known this. I blame all of you for not telling me sooner. You being the internet at large.
Well, honestly, yeah, Pokemon has its flaws, but like I said, I'm very casual. I'm a conformist, so I still find fun in them. Also, yeah, they could do better with all the money they earn, but that is a different topic for a different stream.
Yeah. This... Talking about art, talking about your video game art preferences, I feel like this is a good time for us to take a look at your portfolio. Let me
Oh yeah, let's check out.
So let me... There we go. Took me a second. We're seeing everything as I figure out how to work the slideshow.
The first one that show up, that is the meme one.
So this one, this was your first DoD banner, and this was
Yeah.
August 2022, which is one of my favorite months. I had so much fun that month with the music I made, and I love this art because it reminds me of the tracks I was on. So that's really cool and
Oh.
fun, exciting. And
That's really nice.
I remember you said that you like adding lots of characters, and I mean, you can see just looking down. So I never like, what's the background? I see them at the table, and this is like, it's very much a Last Supper kind of vibe. But what's going
Yeah.
on in the background in the horizon?
I'm not going to lie, I don't remember very well the background I chose. I think it's Castlevania. I'm not entirely sure.
That does look about right.
I think I remember because Legend of Duels, Castlevania. Okay, I'm going to make the throne scene in the background.
And
It has been a while, so I think it's that.
Yeah, and as soon as you said Castlevania, I'm like, oh yeah, I can see that castle. I know some of these characters, but you said that you like adding lots of characters to your art. I know Sonic's on one end, Crash is on the other. Walk us through. Who's in the middle?
Alright, yeah, the intention there was because it was a free month. I was like, oh, a free month, so there was like, what can have a lot of characters? Last Supper, okay, that works. And I wanted to make like a representative for each, for one video game company.
Okay.
So there is like Sonic from Sega, there is Tracer from Overwatch, which is from Blizzard, the Bald Boy from Fallout or for Bethesda, then Spy from Team Fortress 2 for Valve. Valve, I don't know how it's pronounced,
Yeah,
I always say Valve. my Spanish pronunciation reads Valve, and I was like, oh, Valve, okay. Then there's Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Snake! That is for Konami. Then there is the... oh god, I forgot her name. Is the maiden from Elder Ring. from Soft. Then in the middle, Melina, yeah, thank you, chat. And in the middle, because I also love Kirby. I love Kirby as a video game character. And the video games are for beginner players, so they always spoke for me. who is a super casual player in Kirby are easy games technically.
Yeah.
And yeah, Kirby is there for Nintendo mostly, but also you could say it is there for HAL Studio for when it was under HAL. And then starting already on the other side is Phoenix Wright for Capcom from the Ace Attorney games. It's 2B from Nier Automata for Platinum Games. Then Bayonetta, which you will say is a bit of a contradiction because she also is from Platinum Games. I don't remember what was. I think there was another studio there, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2Bs represented Square Enix. Thank you very much. Thank you, chat. Thank you for reminding me the things I forgot. yeah, because Square Enix was the distributor. Yeah, Bayonetta is from Platinum Games, although the distributor was Sega 2, I think. And then is Pac-Man for Bandai Namco. Then the Fortnite Banana for Epic Games. And Crash Bandicoot for Activision.
It's quite a spread.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I sure chose a reference with a lot of characters. I was saying that when I was finishing it, I was like, oh, I sure chose a very big roster.
That's part of the fun, and I love just what's happening all around. Some of them are very, very concerned and animated and engaged, and some, like, Fallout Boy's just standing there with, he's thumbs up. And Kirby, my god, Kirby's just so happy with that Power Tomato.
Yeah, he's so happy.
Anything else that you'd like to share about this month's art before I move on to the next art in the slideshow?
Just that I think I remember seeing the submissions for that month, and I was like, hey, there isn't a lot. A lot of representation that in the banner was not in the music.
Yeah, that's the thing about.
But that's
months.
fine too.
Sometimes I feel like 3 months are either when people pick like the really well-known games and they do something really, really polished and they just put it all out there. A lot of times I like using free months to do the games that like don't fit normal categories, and I think the man actually joined me in Andromeda that month for a track that I wanted to do for Fresh Month, but I wasn't ready for it, and that was 2 months prior, so like, okay, let's do it now. And that was a lot of fun. Free month is big.
Yeah.
Alright, let's take a look. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that it's fine to continue.
Alright. I remember this month as well. So this was February of 2023. It was the Mario Redux month.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Mario in that is closer to the perspective of the viewer. Yeah, it was based on the Chris Pratt Mario from the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I jokingly call this banner like a Crisis on Infinite Marios. Because I was like, oh yeah, it's a month about all Mario music, so I was like, and Mario is it has a lot of spin-offs and different styles and the like, so I wanted to represent them all there. Like there is the Mario Odyssey one, and flying in front of it is the Mario Kart one, and there is also the Mario the one from Mario vs Donkey Kong that had the Mario toys.
Yeah.
I played that one on the Game Boy Advance emulator. There is also the Paper Mario, and the classic Mario from the first games.
Yeah.
And there is the Mario from the Nintendo 64 with the penguin.
One of my favorite games of all time.
he's about to do crimes against Penguin Kinder.
He's gonna throw that penguin over at the rabbit.
Yeah, and also yeah, there is that for the rabbits. Actually, that game is one of the games my father gifted to me on a Christmas, and I was like, oh sure, I can play this too. No, it was not going to be a game I would pick myself, but it was fun still.
Yeah. So this, I mean, yeah, this is it's a great representation, like you said. It's nice to see that mix of characters and styles. So that's really cool. And can you walk us through like how much of this was? Can you walk through the process of making it? I know we'll do a breakdown on this month's banner and that process, but can you, like, what are the different styles and techniques you use to make this?
Some of them I did them like the more free ones, like Chris Pratt. I did them manually on. I think at this time I was using Photoshop still to draw. But for example, the Paper Mario one, I use Illustrator or vector art. So yeah, there a mix of. Well, it was all digital, of course, digital artwork.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I use a mix of freehand and vector art to get all the different, like, how to say, different styles more accurate. Like the Nintendo 64 one is also a vector nightmare with all the polygons, with all the, well, not polygons, the angles.
I could picture that.
Because it is all very angular, very triangle. I was like, oh yeah, I can do this easy, more appropriate with a vector, and it was like, yeah, triangle. Also, the retro one I also did with vectors, and that one I did very use little squares to make that, and I was like, I'm sure there is an easier way to do this, but I chose this path.
You're in it too deep now to go back.
Yeah, like the thing where Mario comes out, I already forgot the name, the silver tube, that thing.
Oh, the
like
warp pipe.
The warp pipe. The squares that are there, they were on layers. So yeah, those little squares, they are all individual squares that I place. Yeah, I was like, there is an easier way to do this, but I don't know it.
That's always fun, doing things the complicated way, because I mean, sometimes it's like there's probably an easier way to do this, but you spend so much time trying to figure out how to do it, and you're like, I'll just do it the hard way.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a very fun project for Mario.
Do you have a favorite Mario game or soundtrack?
I will ask if I didn't finish it, but I really like how the Paper Mario 1000. The Paper Mario for the Wii.
Okay. I don't remember which one it was, but
I think it was Super Paper Mario. That one, I really enjoy it. I remember I stopped playing because I decided in all my wisdom, I decided to try some dungeon trial where you had to do like 100 levels or something to get one of the collectible fairy thingies. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh sure, I'm going to do this. And then I was like, I got bored. I will retake this later, and I never took it.
Yeah.
I should retake it because the story was interesting. Like, I already guessed the plot twist that were going to happen, but I really enjoyed the story.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
I remember. So my favorite Mario is Mario 64, and that was the first time I fell in love with video game music. But also, I hadn't thought about this in years, but I remember in high school for math class we had to have a graphing calculator, and one of the things that like you could do on the graphing calculator was to play Mario. And oh man, I need to like look back into that, because the ability to play Super Mario Brothers on a graphing calculator was just the coolest thing in the world. It's like how everything should be able to play Tetris. Every single electronic device should allow you to play Tetris. There's no reason it can't.
Oh yeah, that time when the calculators and other kind of device could randomly play some retro game. Good times.
All right, excellent. So let's take a look at. This does not appear to be a DoD banner. It is definitely spooky.
Yeah, I was worried if it was considered too gross.
I like it. That's fine.
Oh, sorry. Thank you.
So what are we looking at here?
Yeah, well, are you familiar with the Undertale game?
I know of it, but I haven't played it. I've covered it a few times, but yeah.
Well, this one has a funny story. Well, it is one of my oldest arts, and I remember because at the time the man was doing Undertale covers, and he was like, "Oh, can you make this some art for my covers?" And I was like, "Sure." And this one was for the cover for the Flowey team, with the final boss. And I wanted to try something new there, and I was like, I wanted to try a collage. So I tried to because the original design for Flowey was also a collage. Like it had it's called in the fandom Photoshop Flowey.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I want to also do a collage, but reinvent it, so to say. So actually I know those look like intestines, but they are actually plastic recreations. Fun fact, because
like, what is this biblically accurate representation?
Biblically accurate Flowey.
Yeah.
But yeah, because like there was like something that resembled like a plant, so I added another type of plants and the like. And so yeah, that was a collage I made to recreate. So to recreate, but also make it different. And that video apparently got a lot of visits just for the art, apparently. And then people, of course, then encounter a really good music, so they stayed. Like came for the art, stayed for the music.
Nice. That's a good teamwork effort there.
Yeah, actually I remember that in the comments of the video, people commented a lot and nicknamed this Meat Flowey, which I found really funny because, as I mentioned, those intestines were actually plastic models.
Oh wow.
So I was like, oh, how should I tell them?
Next
No, that.
Oh, sorry.
But just answering to the chat, I think those are not nopales, but are kind of cactus, yes.
And so what do we have here?
Oh, that is my meme. If someone in the chat knows the reference, I'm going to be super happy.
I don't know if this is based on anything, but for some reason it's giving me like a Buzz Lightyear vibe.
Okay, I'm going to proceed to explain the context. So, well, I'm not sure if you are familiar with the Spider-Man comic book runs.
I've never read the comics, but you mentioned Spider-Man, and it makes me... This reminds me of Mysterio, because I've seen movies.
Yeah, actually, this is Mysterio.
Mysterio?
Yeah, with Gwen Stacy wig. Because I'm going to proceed to do some story time to add context to the meme.
Excellent.
Sorry, I'm laughing at my own jokes, sorry.
No, I mean, if there's a crime against laughing at your own jokes, I would have been locked up a really long time ago, and there would be an Amnesty International campaign to try to... People would be sending postcards on my behalf. So, you're allowed to laugh at your own jokes.
Thank you. Alright, so in the comic book, this is going to be a bit of a... I guess there will be a sensible topic in some way. In the comic room, and the comic books, well, Wednesday dies. The Green Goblin kills her. spoilers for a
No, we all
decades-old comic book.
It's like how it's the sled in Citizen Kane. We all get it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Gwen Stacy
Uh,
dies.
yeah, in a comic book storyline, then it was like revealed, Sora, that apparently in some trouble Gwen Stacy had, she cheated on Peter with Norman Osborn, and she had twins or something from that union, and everyone was, but then everyone hated that storyline, to say the least.
Yeah.
Because they are like, what do you mean when Stacy cheated on Peter and had twins? And we never learned that until like decades later. What do you mean that happened? A lot of people like chose to say this is not canon. And then it happened. It happened that some writers said, you know what, you're right, I will make this non-canon. And so then there was a retcon that revealed that Norman Osborn actually never did the do with Gwen Stacy. It was all an hallucination from Mysterio. So they did the twins. They were actually clones made on a lab or something by some other villain that has a clone gimmick. But Norman was tricked to believe he had the thing with Gwen Stacy because Mysterio used his trickery. And because at the time it was first leaked, someone leaked it like, oh, very big, and people thought that it meant like Mysterio did the deed with Norman instead. So there were a lot of memes of like Norman being catfished by Mysterio, and I was like, I'm going to join the bandwagon because this retcon was amazing.
I like that story.
So yeah, that was based on a template from a very spicy meme, and I just draw Mysterio with a Gwen Stacy wig because that is how a lot of people like to represent the catfishing. Like, oh yeah, it was just Mysterio with a Gwen Stacy wig, and then in his trickery did the rest, his special effects.
Oh, Norman, when will you learn?
And as far as I know, that retcon has not been retcon. So then eventually, when a new storyline where it looked like Peter was going to go back with Mary Jane, but then she didn't, and started dating another guy, everyone was like, Mysterio, go help Peter! but no, the one that helped Mysterio there was Venom. Yeah, because comics.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't read much of comics, but like I love the cross over, like just the very complex intertwining of different stories and characters and things. That always fascinates me, and for a very long time I was really excited about the MCU movies because they were doing a good job of it, and it's been really hard for me to care lately, but I feel like Spider-Man crossover stuff is a fun time, just between like the Spider-Verse movies and the last Spider-Man movie they did, like just how they mix everything up, and it's just so ripe for creativity and imagination there.
Yeah, the last Spider-Man movie from the MCU, I honestly, it has its flaws and everything, but I really enjoy it. It felt like when you make a fanfic where you are like, I don't like how this ended, I'm going to fix it. So that's how it felt for me, and there is something very warm about it.
Yeah, I liked it. I think it's... Since I'm not a comic book fan, I don't know how much authority I have on the subject, but I liked the hell out of it. I thought it was great. 5 stars.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch it again right now. End of the stream, everybody. I gotta go watch Spider-Man. No, I'm kidding. But next up, I know this art. This is Dwelling of Duels-ish. It's not exactly Dwelling of Duels. It's the man's Prime Cuts album.
Yeah, which also has a similar topic of adding a lot of references there.
Yeah. So what are... I've seen this art a
Okay.
bunch, but I don't actually know what all the references are.
Alright, if I remember correctly, because the soup there is from Zelda Twilight Princess,
Okay.
like that,
I kind of remember that.
like Yoto soup or something like that was called.
It's got a fish in there.
Yeah, exposing myself that I didn't play a lot of Zelda games. But yeah, it's like a soup from that game. Then there is those cakes are actually from Pokemon.
Okay.
The Poke Puffs that you gave to, like, in the Nintendo 2DS, there was a sort of mini game where you could go with your Pokemon and like pet it and give it those little cakes. It was really cute. Pokemon Ami was called.
Hmm.
So yeah, those cakes are from that. A reference to that because of the Pokemon soundtrack that was there.
And what's the waiter holding?
A smash ball turned into a cake.
That's kind of... Yeah, I don't know how I didn't realize that before, but as I'm looking at it, I can see the Smash logo in there, so that's pretty cool. And who's that waiter?
The waiter is a random person, but the mask is a reference to Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay. I was on a track with
So-
the man from that game.
Yeah, I don't know much about that game. I know he played it, but I don't know a lot about the result.
All I know is the song was a lot of fun to work on. It was like the man PF and Nadina Laird teamed up. An early version with the waiter unmasked.
Oh yeah, that is the earlier version was because of a confusion I got with the with the original request, and I was corrected, and I was like, oh okay, and actually it worked out because I didn't know what to add to reference the Shadow of the Colossus game, so I say, oh well, a mask can work.
So what other references do we have? What is the steak like? So the steak is the prime cut, I imagine.
Is the prime cut? Yes.
Yeah. What's that from? Or is that just a steak?
No, it came from something, but I don't remember anymore. Oh no, my memory is not what it used to be.
Nadina Laird?
The man probably remembers what I said it was a reference to.
Oh, so now
Because I told him what.
for some reason, okay, Red by Rodeo. That makes sense. So what? Okay.
Okay.
What else is on the table there?
Well, I remember. We can check the other ones. Yeah. The Calice is for Cuphead. Like there is also the
Okay.
straw from Cuphead
Yeah.
himself, and the Calice from Calice. the egg is from Hollow Knight for the Rotten Eggs kind of thingy.
Okay.
And they're a very fancy E-Tank from Mega Man.
Mm.
And the cookies are a bit meta. And I really wanted to comment it, but I think in the stream for the album there was not a chance to mention it. The cookies are based on a very mythical, almost cryptid urban legend about some cookies that were used as marketing for Metroid Prime 2.
Oh, okay. I don't know the story.
Yeah, I was like, what kind of food can I add for Metroid Prime 2? And I found like that story, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I can use that.
Okay. And the is there a story behind the pattern on the rug?
I was searching for fancy for what I didn't want it to be plain.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta search for fancy patterns or something, and then I more or less tried to simulate one I saw that well, that's it's just a fancy rock because
Okay.
it's supposed to be a fancy ship,
Yeah. It's the prime
like
ship.
the Star Wars hotel,
Yeah.
like the Star Wars hotel that's that close.
And I can tell most of the instruments in the background. Are those meant to represent specific musicians on the album? I mean, I can kind of guess who's on the saxophone.
Musicians, not exactly, but they are meant to represent the instruments that were used for the soundtrack. Like there was a sax, a keyboard, a bass, and the drums that apparently I'm going to learn to play.
Yes, those are the drums you're going to learn on. It's a small set, but it works. It lets you keep the beat. All right, I think that's the end of that slideshow. So these are some Marawis arts. Let's go back here.
Okay.
Let me get my notes. Okay, so tell us a little bit. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about when you started making art and like? We talked a little bit about some of your recent projects and some of the things, but like, when was the first time you picked up a thing and applied it to a different thing to make an image?
Oh well, it all started when I was on the kindergarten.
Yeah, that's a good time to start.
Yeah, actually, I have a notebook that I found a way back with all my kindergarten cringe. Or not cringe, but but yeah, it was like, oh, I did this when I was like 5, 6. There's but a time when I didn't have to worry about salaryman life. But yeah, I would say technically started there. Also, well, I was going to say, but not on the more nerdy stuff. But then I remember I was like 6-year-old when I was doing my Digimon OC, so
Yeah.
I guess I did start very early.
I remember, like, I didn't do much art, but I did a little bit, and like almost everything I did, the only art I really remember making were like my own Calvin and Hobbes comics, which is like a little nerdy. It's nerdy enough, but yeah, that's one of those first things is when you're a kid, you want to draw the things that you like, and so it's making your own version of stuff.
Yeah. It's a trip to the past, to more innocent times, I guess.
Yeah. And so this is one of those questions where an actual artist would be better to ask these instead of me, because I don't know a lot about art. But can you talk a little bit about the different styles and medium? I think just from the 5 images that we just saw, there were different styles and techniques, but what are the kinds of mediums that you like working in when you're making art?
Well, actually, I like to make my sketches, my drafts with pencil and a paper that actually is going to show up later when we talk about the banner breakthrough. But I like to do that sometimes, depending on the art. I do it the final version also on hand with ink and color pencils and stuff, or also make it in digital medium, like all the banners that show there.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, they all started with an on hand with pencil and stuff draft, but then the final version moved to the digital thing. I use depending on the art or the effect I want to transmit, so to speak, I use a different software. Like for example, I remember at one point I used Photoshop because I bought a lot of brushes for that one, and I was like, I'm going to use them.
Mm-hmm.
What can be done? Or also for example, the Mario banner art that had a vector art, and for that I use Illustrator to make the shapes better. For this banner, for this month, I use actually almost exclusively Clip Studio Paint for the different effects and stuff. Because well, there are some brushes there that that have more like oil sort of effect, and I was like, oh yeah, I could use it because they are supposed to be on a mansion.
Yeah.
So we will have like that kind of thing.
speaking of this month's art, maybe that's a good time for us to go over the slideshow of your process from this month.
What a nice segue.
That's what I'm good at. It's good. I'm good at the segue. Not actually like the scooter, but like going from one topic to the next. I can do that. Okay, so I see and remember and love Goosebumps. I've never actually seen Dawn of the Dead. That's one of those movies I really want to see, but it's really difficult to find a place to watch it. And
Same.
and the font here. Tell us a
Yeah,
little bit about
these are-
this.
Yeah, those are were the inspirations for the different calligraphy that you could see in this month's banner art.
Okay.
I wanted like for the ghosts because well we think of ghosts like more ancient things, so I wanted some more ancient kind of calligraphy and I remember that in junior high I had like a mini course where a teacher taught us to like that kind of letter or calligraphy.
Mhm.
And I was like, I knew this would work for me for something in the future.
Yeah.
So that is kind of it shows like the kind of strict order for the letters that some of these they are called Gothic letters kind of thing because they
Yeah.
were used during that period. For the zombies, I wanted to capture that sort of like B-movie type of fonts, so Dawn of the Dead was a good inspiration for it. That's why the letters are more like bold and red. And for Dwelling of Duels, I wanted the slimy bit like Goosebumps, sorta.
Let me try and find. I really want to just like put the image back up on the screen, but every so often I'm reminded that I'm not the best at Twitch. So let me try this.
Oh, it's fine.
Here. So we can see the Dwelling of Duels up at the top. That's the Goosebumps. The ghosts in Gothic and the zombies is definitely that Dawn of the Dead image.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so that's really
yeah,
cool.
those were my inspiration. Yeah, those were my inspirations. I wanted like I did them manually, so I didn't write it on the keyboard. I just replicated. I did my best to replicate my calligraphy lessons.
Very cool. Now next up. So okay, tell us about this. So I can see this is you using a camera, but with your avatar face.
Yeah, because like, oh yeah, one of the references for one of the characters in the banner is Frank West, who is a photographer in the game he debuted on.
Okay.
So, and I was like, I wanted to, well, because there is also the girl from Fatal Frame. I wanted like, oh, well, two guys with cameras, it will be fun. But then I was like, I don't know how, I couldn't find a good picture for reference for how to hold the camera the way I wanted. So, well, one of the process of artists that we do sometimes, when you can find a reference, you make it yourself.
Yeah.
So that is the story behind that photo. I was like, well, if I can find the angle that I want to use, I will make it myself. I already have a camera.
And I think if you're watching at the bottom, the scrolling artwork, we've got the photographers coming into frame right now.
Yeah, you will see that Frank West has my same pose.
Excellent. And so this is sketch work of the different characters that we have in here. Can you walk us through who's from where? I know Luigi.
Yeah, from Luigi's Mansion. Oh yeah, I wrote there that he was like 175 centimeters tall. It turned, and then I added a what the fuck there with us because I was like WTF, because I was like, he can be this tall, and in fact he was not that tall. It turned out that then I checked another height and he was like shorter, so I was like, oh, okay, I knew it was a bit tall.
Luigi always seems tall to me. I always think of Luigi as tall and Mario as shorter.
Yeah, well, Mario is super short in comparison. Luigi is tall, but he's not like.
Yeah.
Well, comparing to with other character because of his proportions, being so tall is like, oh well, this is like a shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is Jill from Resident Evil. That she is the reason why I wanted to work on these mods.
Okay.
I wanted an excuse to draw Jill.
I remember the man said that you, like, early on had dibs on Ghosts vs. Zombies, and so that's cool. Now I know why.
Yeah, I say like, oh, zombies, Jill, sure, I got this. Then, there is Frank West from Dead Rising. Out of fun fact, I actually met him I knew him from Project Cross Zone, that is an RPG.
Mm-hmm.
That game was a big crossover between a lot of video game companies that throw the characters together. And that's where I met Frank West. He was really funny, actually.
Nice.
If you like RPGs, to everyone watching, play Project Cross Zone. It's a really fun game. All those reviews that dunk on it for having a lot of text have never played RPGs. I will that mad about those reviews.
That's a reasonable response.
And the girl from Fatal Frame, I think her name is what was it, Miku Hinasaki from the first Fatal Frame. Because I needed a ghost representative besides Luigi. And for the one sub, actually that was my very first rough sketch, so you will see that a lot of those characters did not make it to the final banner.
Yeah.
You can see the zombie from Plants vs Zombies.
Mm-hmm.
That girl there is Spooky from Spooky's Jumpscare Mansion. I didn't play it, but I found about the game, so I was like, oh great, because I need ghost representatives.
Yeah.
There in the back is the zombie from Zombie U, but I think now it's just called Zombie or something, the game. And there is the one from Ghost Trick.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side is where most of the changes can be seen.
Yeah.
There is the clicker from The Last of Us, and there is a ghost from Pokemon. Then there is the ghost from the Mario series.
Oh yeah, the Boo.
Yeah, the Boo. And there is a zombie from Call of Duty Zombies.
Okay. Some nice representation here. Not everyone made the cut, but there's still plenty of characters in the final version.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that was more or less how I wanted more or less to structure it. You can see also the placeholder for the ghosts and zombie hunters.
yeah. And I know I already skipped ahead to the next image from the slideshow. What's the setting? It's a hallway, but is it supposed to be a specific hallway?
It is based on the Resident Evil mansion.
Okay.
So it's based on those hallways.
And looking here, we see Boo, Spooky, Snatcher, and Ronan.
Yeah, that was when I was searching for ghosts, because I was like, oh, I have realized I don't play a lot of games with ghosts, so I need to search for ghosts. And I was on the TV tropes page,
Mm-hmm.
and I found the All Ghosts Are Different page for video games, and that's where I met Spooky.
Very nice.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool, this one I can use.
And
So yeah, this is what representative of how I can wiki walk my way into finding references.
And Snatcher's from Hat in Time, which I haven't played, but I have covered. Right? I'm assuming that's the same
Oh.
Snatcher.
I think I don't remember very well, but I think
Okay.
he's
If it's the same
Or let-
Snatcher's got some really cool music that I put the bass up way too high on, like it's way too loud. But okay.
Alright, I will tell you real quick if he's the same. Yeah, he's the one from a Hat in Time.
Okay.
So we are right there.
And this is the pretty finalized version that a cup did the did
Yeah,
all of
that
these
is
make?
like
I
the
think one or
second.
two of them didn't make. Yeah, I can see the clicker still in there and the Pokemon Ghost.
Yeah, that is the second like rough sketch because I that's when I try to like place everyone where they should go. Like you can also see that I try to do the Ghost Trick Man in with the full body, but I was like that will look weird, so I did the ghostly lower half instead.
Yeah, that does make, like, I don't think it would have made sense if the legs were there.
Yeah, like sure, ghosts are incorporeal, they can float, but it will look weird.
Yeah.
My original idea, so I was like, well, nope, scratch that, erase that. And on the other side, you can see that these were a lot of more of the changes were made.
Yeah.
I eventually scrapped the Pokemon Ghosts because I was like, I wanted to have it like more balanced, like equal number of zombies, equal number of ghosts, equal number of zombie hunters, equal number of ghost hunters.
Yeah.
So the Pokemon Go will have this balance thing. So scrap it.
Is there a zombie Pokemon?
Technically, depending on your definition, because if you go with the Last of Us kind of zombie, with the fungus controlling your brain, technically the evolution of Paras is a zombie.
Oh man, that's an interesting take on it. Given how many different questions we've gotten from people about what counts as ghosts or zombies, I don't think we're going to allow Paris to count as a zombie. Wait, Parasect is a zombie? Oh, yeah, so Nelp is just being enthusiastic about it. But Parasect doesn't have his own music. So, Lavender Town, okay. Parasect zombie interpretation, still not allowed.
Technically, we go with the Pokédex information. Technically, the big fungus that Parasect has is the actual Pokemon controlling the body.
Yeah.
As Chad mentions, yeah, Shedinja is a ghost. No, it's a ghost. Shedinja is from the third generation.
Okay.
Like that Pokemon, like the bug comes out from the carcass, and the carcass becomes its own Pokemon.
That sounds terrifying.
It is terrifying, especially because Shedinja had a special ability where he only had 1 HP, but it was immune to almost all damage. It was kind of tricky to get it down.
Pokebus starring Parasect. That's some nightmare fuel right there.
Yeah, and eventually why I didn't make the clicker to the final version is because I checked the clicker references and my trypophobia got triggered, and I was like, nope, I'm not going to make the clicker in the end. Sorry for all the Last of Us fans, but no, the clickers were very, very to me.
Yeah.
So instead I added the Minecraft zombie.
That I can completely relate to that. So yeah, that's a really excellent breakdown on this month's banner art. Is there anything else? I think we've kind of covered a lot of the different questions we had. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about today, or share, whether it's about this month's art or just Dwelling of Duels or art or video games or anything else that you want to talk about?
I guess I want to ask, when will we have a mobile game month?
Mobile game month. That's one of those themes that comes up almost every year, and sometimes it gets put in the poll, and it'll happen at some point. I'm assuming, because there are only so many themes in the world, and we gotta get them all. to reference a popular video game. But yeah, the mobile month will happen sometime. I'm not gonna say when. Don't anyone listening right now, don't start, banking your entry for mobile month, because it could be a while. But given that how much art you've done for DoD, I'm certainly more than willing to keep it in the mix. Excellent. So yeah, thank you so much for everything, for joining us today on Twitch, for making this month's art, as well as so many other banners in DoD's history, and hopefully some more down the road in future months. Do you? So I know this month you really wanted to do so you could draw Jill. Are there any other characters or things, or like what would be the next art that you want to do? Like, what would get you really excited about making another DoD banner?
Well, I guess if we ever make something that can add Baldur's Gate into the available entries to reference, because I also I like to draw monsters and the like.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Mind Flyers from D&D, and they are like a main villain enemy in Baldur's Gate 3. But also a couple of them are your allies, but that is a little spoilers.
Oh.
I really like the squid people, so maybe find a way to add squid people in some art. I will have fun. I will also say Kirby, but I already did the House Studio banner.
Yeah. All right. Excellent. So, I think that's our stream for today. As promised, we're gonna close out with a bit of music that was not in the pre-show playlist, but keep it right here. Thank you so much, Marawis, for joining us. I should probably hit the details. We've got the deadline this month is Wednesday, October 29th. I know usually it's Thursday, but we had to move it up because we didn't want to do the listening party. Some people didn't want to do the listening party on Halloween.
No.
and so
No.
Thursday the 30th is going to be the listening party. And yeah, keep it right here, scoop those mids, slide right, and stay for the alts, because this has been Dwelling of Duels with Marawis.
Duels.